I'm just talking about the table here.
Yeah. We're good. Yeah.
Do we need to buy a HDMI cord?
I don't know, it's not good. Some lots after this.
Ross has one, right? Somewhere in the tub at home with all your cords.
I have standard HDMI. As long as my business is very good.
Have you been swimming?
No, I've been out of town.
Who's
Yeah.
the game? Is that Hazel or just not?
Yeah, I'm gonna start over 6. Hey,
In the morning?
I have to be here today. So, yeah.
When
Now I'm
did
asleep. It's a very peaceful there.
It's recording still and it says YouTube stop.
Wonderful. And I can do my own thing.
oh, yeah.
It's, chairs. Wow.
Now the chats and participants.
So,
It's in the crowd.
I know.
Lord.
I think it's just gonna work pretty good. Honestly, you get board members. You start having the public come up. Like they're-
Yeah.
You want to count, like, what's the system?
That's what I was gonna say. I think that's what they do at the system. Go.
We're good, man.
Oh,
There is a bucket that Darla can't work with. I just don't, she's a little concerned about nobody being able to see. But I think that.
There's a broom.
She's there.
We're live.
We're on.
Are there any people on there? Do you just want to go? Because it's. We're gonna be. So, I don't know what to say. Christina, how's her? Jeremy can sign.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay. I wanted to be sure.
Always check my top floor to see if there's a.
Right.
Well, I actually say that I sent her a text. That.
Very nice.
I was like, look at this. So like, we go home. Yeah.
I guess writing has been very
Baking dish.
good.
I have excellent friendship.
I'm teasing you. All right, are you guys all good?
I don't know if I mentioned to you, but we don't have a public sitting up here close to
Right, the interview. That's what you mean?
In the future, anybody who wants to talk.
Right,
That would, they could sit on that.
right. Okay. We are gonna call the meeting to order. Let's do the roll call and the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I will give a little bit of information, and then we will start the process for today. So Jeremy, Kim, here, Julie,
Here.
Darla,
Here.
Jill.
Here.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance, flag is over here. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, so the way that things will go tonight, it's a special meeting, which means there's only one topic. There's no public comments tonight. It will just be about doing our interviews and then voting for the open position, and then the meeting will adjourn. That will be the entire focus of our meeting. The interview process will be that we'll ask the three people, Elaine, Robert, and Ross, to step out of the room. And after they talk, they'll still step out until everyone's finished, and then they can come back in. And then the board will have discussion. So I believe, Julie, do you have questions? Did you the way we did this last time was everyone has questions? You're good too. Okay, so everyone has a question for each person. So that it'll probably take, I don't know, 10 minutes a person while you're in the room, and then we'll go from there. So I think that I don't know if fair, but the way the applications were turned in was Robert, Elaine, and Ross. So we're going to go in that order for the interviews. So Elaine and Ross, if you guys could step out, and Robert, if you could move up to this chair.
This is open, so they can, everything on the other side of this wall.
They can go out into the main area, and you can make sure no riffraff are coming in the door.
Of the Lebanon pool for 25 years. And in other places I've lived, I've used the local pools, whether it was at the Y or a municipal pool, going back almost 40 or 50 years. But my background professionally, so I am a chemical engineer, and I've worked at various places in research positions, including Lockheed, and most lately recently at Entech. So I'm familiar with technical issues. I'm familiar with equipment, like the pumps and motors and things that we use for, and filtration. I am a chemical engineer, so those are unit operations that we're all taught to understand. On top of that, I've led large groups, so I've been a project manager. I'm familiar with project management, scheduling, forecasting, budgeting, all those sorts of things. And as well being a supervisor, I've had lots of experience with issues of dealing with staff and human resource issues. So I can bring all those all those experiences to bear on supporting the Lebanon Aquatic District Board and the pool. In addition to that, I have served on some boards in the past. I was a director for the Somerville Historical Preservation Council back in the 80s when I lived in Somerville, Massachusetts. I have served on the Lebanon Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Council here in Lebanon until that was terminated. And I've also served on the City of Lebanon Budget Committee. And in addition to that, I've been the president of the SIO ZCBJ Hall Board. So SIO has this old hall. It's called the ZCBJ Hall. It was originally built by the Czechs, and I was on the board that managed that hall for about 12 years. And I was also managed the Riverview Ditch Irrigation District for the 24 years that I had the farm out there in between Silo and Jefferson. So I think all of that experience, it's pretty broad, but it is all applicable in different ways to what the Lebanon Aquatic District Board faces.
Okay. Jeremy?
Yes, as you know, we are facing a budget issue trying to get the repairs done. Which of your areas do you think would be most beneficial in trying to solve that problem for us?
Well, I had a lot of hopes for the approach, and what I recognize as an innovative approach to doing that renovation. Instead of running new pipes underneath the pool, to run the pipes alongside the pool, they come in on the side for the water flow into the pool. That resulted in a very drastic decrease in the total cost of the project. Evidently, it wasn't enough. So, what we're facing now, given that there are constraints on how much property tax revenue you can expect to see in the next year. The opportunities for grants and private donations are certainly a place to look. I don't know if that'll make up the $250,000 or $300,000 that you or more that you need to cover the difference. But I would certainly look in that direction. That's certainly what the Friends of Lebanon is to do. Though that organization was looking more to look at incidental projects that were associated with that renovation. So like new stairs or steps into the pool, or new backstroke flags, or new starting blocks, things along that order. It could be, thousands or maybe tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of funding. I know that you have a loan that's going to be completing, I'm not sure, next year after? Mm-hmm. Isn't that right? Year. Next year. So, there's an opportunity for some, for debt financing of the pool. So that's definitely something.
You good? Yeah. All right. You stole my stuff. You're reading my notes. What are you doing?
Hey.
That's all right. The most important thing to me is getting the pool repaired. We learned in the process that the repair will last for another 25 years. And I think that's super exciting. We're going to have to wait until next year, and making sure we're on track to have that funding is completely my focus. You had a lot of reasons on your application why you wanted to be on the board, and they're great reasons, and I totally get it, but a lot of them are considered daily operations reasons, and That would be Jill right now. So we can't be involved in those. But the fiscal responsibility is still the board's responsibility. So getting the money for the repairs is super important. So Jeremy stole my question mostly, but my actual question was, what experience do you bring that will help us find new donors and funds to accomplish the funding goal?
Well, my most recent fundraising experience was with the SIO ZCPJ Hall. Did fundraising to put a new roof on. That was almost 20 years ago. They just recently put a newer roof on the hall. But so through the community of SIO and also the families that were initially associated with the Czech Hall, we approached all of them and did fundraising through those historical connections. So related to the Lebanon community, similarly, you look at the people who are most invested in the Lebanon community, who have some deep pockets, and approach them, and not only individuals but also organizations. I know that NTEC has already been quite generous in donating. There are other companies within the area that should also be contacted and followed up. You can't be shy. You have to be bold and make the ask and make the presentation.
So what was the issue with that before the Friends of the Pool split off? The board had a fundraising committee. Mm-hmm. And I thought that's what was happening with the fundraising committee. So what was the miss?
I'm not entirely clear why we abandoned the fundraising committee within the Lebanon Aquatic District board, except that there was a kind of an understanding that there would be a preference to have a group that was 501c3 that would be able to get or apply for grants that only a 501c3 organization can apply for. So a lot of the charitable organizations will only do a 501c3, but not to a government. Now, some of them will do both, but in the research that I did, there were some that were kind of selected. They would do a 501c3 donation, or a grant, but not to a government. So that's one reason why it was separated.
Okay. We've talked about this recently at board, and we did not completely shut down the committee. It just stopped meeting. So that is one of the goals for this coming budget year, is to bring that back in parallel. So the good work you're doing, try to do the same thing from the board side, which we're looking forward to.
All right, thank you.
Are we zooming?
Yes.
Okay. All of my questions were taken. I had multiple ones in case mine was taken and I was last, which I figured would be the case.
We'll let you go first the other way.
But I do beg to differ about day-to-day operations, because I think there's a lot of meetings happening that would be something that he would probably be happy to help with. Just want to put that out there. And I do have a question that I've with. Have you had any experience working with a contentious or divided board, and how would you approach that problem?
Oh yeah. Yes, there were some difficult moments with the SIO ZCPJ Hall board. We did have an issue when there was a faction on the board that wanted to do vinyl siding hall, and they had their reasons, and then some of them seemed sound, but then there was another faction that really wanted to have more historical preservation approach to maintaining the hall. So I had to deal with that. That took several meetings to work through, but we had in the end invited some outside experts to come and make presentations on the benefits of historical preservation versus the vinyl siding, and what are the pros and cons of both. So after working that through, we managed to we actually got to consensus on that. So that was one. And then I've worked through, issues in my professional life as well, where different points of view and, technical approaches for solving the problem. Part of it is just persevering and getting all the opinions out on the table and having a thorough discussion, and also being, managing the personalities a little bit.
Thank you, and thank you for your dedication to the pool itself, and your daily use. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we swim 75 laps in an hour. It's like
No, I
Amazing.
cannot do 75 laps an hour.
60. All the same way to me.
You're gonna kill me.
Thank you.
All right, well, I think that's it. If you would like to ask Elaine to come in, please, we would appreciate that.
I'll do that.
Thank you. And Julie, we'll start you this time so that you can ask one of your questions first.
It's that 67.
I'll be lucky to do that. Well, if I could walk in the shower.
Well. I can do the laps.
I could do walk the job and you didn't go anywhere.
I mean,
Just- Yeah. Yes. Welcome back. Yep, please, in the hot seat.
Okay.
Thank you for coming and applying. And Julie's gonna go first with her questions, and we'll each ask you a question.
Okay, great, thank you.
Just about your plans to help raise money for renovations. And if we're not able to raise them in a timely manner, what would be your plans for LAD in coming years?
Well, I think we have to raise money for renovations. I mean, I grew up in a town the size of Lebanon, and the pool was a pivotal part of the community, and I believe we have to have the pool. Number one, I think as we move forward, we've got to have a change in the communication system. I believe for people like Jill, who works so hard, and her staff to try to register people, you've got swimming lessons, swim team, you've got events, and I'm sure that so much of her time is spent in signing people up. I believe that we need to look for some mini grants, and that's one of the things that I've been looking at. For example, Pacific Power, Walmart, other places have mini grants. And that's the kind of place that we could look for money for working on pool renovation. Working on the pool is another piece. And because I'm affiliated with Western University, as is Dr. Davis, who's here tonight, we're beginning work on some grants. And not only are we working on grants, but we're working on man and woman power. And that means that coming up when y'all start painting, doing that white coat, that we've got doctor of physical therapy and doctor of osteopathic medicine students who are going to come and use their volunteer hours, because they have to give 30 hours. And so we will use them to help pay. And as far as raising money, I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce and Greeters, and I've already said to Greeters, it'd be great if people could help us. And what we need is paint. And so we're setting up a website so that people can donate paint. Another thing that I'm interested in is I believe every child and adult needs to learn how to swim. And I'm looking at a project where we will have persons donate. I know it's about $50 for swim lessons, where people could go online when we get our online set up, and they could donate $50 for a child or an adult to learn how to swim. And so that will also bring in revenue. My last thought, and this is just one of the pieces, is I want us to be involved in different kinds of activities. For example, I'm looking at an event where we would offer entry for maybe $5 or $10, and we would have 3 or 4 mini events. For example, we would have water polo, we might have water volleyball, we would have yoga, and we would have Zumba, which I'm interested in because I'm a Zumba instructor. But ways that we could interest the community in events. And we would have people come in and actually enter the events. And they might enter the water polo or the Zumba. That will bring interest. And with that also, we need to open the pool for more hours. On Saturday afternoon, I know the pool closes at 3, and I know that birthday parties are done. But I think that that pool is large enough that it could be divided so that multiple events could be going on at the same time. So better use of the pool, bringing in more revenue. I do not think a bond issue, I'm not in favor of a bond issue because I think that that is not a workable solution. But I think we have to work with the community. And there are groups in this community to whom we could go to ask for funds, starting with the mini grants and moving from there.
Is that good, Julie? Okay. All right, you weren't here. I have a little statement. Most important thing to me is getting the pool repaired. It should last for 25 more years if we get it repaired the way that we've so far had bids for. Unfortunately, as you know, we've had to put them off until next year. So being on track and keeping that funding in my focus, that's for me, my biggest focus. So your application was very community focused and you did have a lot of grant writing experience. And I'm wondering if, I mean, I know I've looked, I think Darla's looked, we would talk to Laura Lee about grants. I think we were focused on pool grants and community grants. And I'm wondering maybe if there's any like physical healing or organizations that do that kind of stuff that have grants that we just don't know about. So
Yeah. I'm sorry.
no, I'm gonna say, so I was just gonna say, with all the activities that you appear to be involved in and your affiliation with the college, do you think that you would be a good advocate for the pool at the things that you do? Plus, could these grants exist that we don't know about?
Well, as y'all know, I've been a physical therapist for 55 years, and I have taught thousands of physical therapists. And for example, this year we just graduated our 2nd class of physical therapists and started our 5th class. That means we have a lot of person power. And also we have a lot of options. For example, there are many of the students I talked to them at graduation, there are many of the students who are swimmers, who are lifeguards, and or their partners are swimmers or lifeguards. I think that's a way that we can bring in both man hours and we can also bring in lifeguards. And with more lifeguards, we can do more time. Like I said, with maybe Saturday and Sunday, and we can bring in more. Through groups like the American Physical Therapy Association and other groups, there are many grants available through those organizations as well. At one point for the American Physical Therapy Association, I was trying to work on advanced training for therapists who were trained in obstetrics and gynecology care. And so I edited a manual, and the first run, I had it was 400 pages. I had it printed for $14 a copy, and we made $8,600 for the first run. And so we made $100,000 over a few months, and that was the money we needed to go forward. So I have ideas of ways that we can, through publications, through use of our doctor, so PT and osteopathic medicine, ways that we can fundraise. And that's why Dr. Davis and I are starting now to develop some grants. We have one grant, which is in the early stages, where we want to offer a citywide program for children where they will be tested for lead, where they will be tested for diabetes, where they will get a skeletal screen, where we're also bringing in a writer who has 6 books who's a children's writer. So I'm looking at a lot of different options for fundraising.
Okay. We do have to remember that things like extended hours and stuff like that are all on Jill. And she will let us know whenever she's open to hear ideas. We just can't, that's just her space, right?
And I think too, as I've been in the pool and I know how hard it must be to do all the scheduling, I imagine that takes a lot of your time. And that's time that's taken away from your using your own ideas of fundraising, of working different ideas in the pool. And so that's why I think technology, and I believe, for example, with Peak just got a new $8 million some $8 million grant. I think PEAK would be a group with whom we could network. And I actually see them when I go to Greeters. And so Greeters is a place where I kind of have my ears open to what's available in the community.
Great, thank you. All right, Jeremy.
Well, with everybody so focused on the repair, which is where I was as well, I'm gonna pivot. Let's say after the repairs, after we've successfully finished all these projects, what do you view as being the most important area that you can be active in on the board after all this is over?
Well, there was someone on the board that said that one time that said I talk a lot, and I'm on the budget committee. I'm not naming names, and but I do believe I'm a good vocalist. You know, I'm a good person to speak about what's going on. So if it's at organizations, I'm the kind of person you could send to the Optimus Club, to the Rotary, to the Greeters, and I've already spoken. Last week I did. I said, I'm speaking today on behalf of the pool, and they're gonna need paint, and we're gonna figure out how you can give paint. So I'm the person that could be a speaker for the board, and yes, I do talk a lot, but often people listen. I found that over the years. I mean, I was president of a board, a group which is now 4,000 members. And I was president for a lot of years, and we raised a lot of money, and we taught a lot of physical therapists, men and women, to be advocates for men's and women's and children's health. And so I think my voice would be one of the things that I could offer. And working with the students, you know, I'm affiliated with Dr. Davis and I, working with the DO students. I mean, look at the manpower there. They have 125 or so students a year. We have about 50, and each student has to do 40 hours of community service. That is a huge amount of service. So that means me going in, which I'm doing next week, and talking to each of the classes and saying, here's where you need to use your community service hours. So I'm saying my voice would be the biggest thing I think I could bring to the board. Thank you.
So that was my question. I did want to ask you for community outreach. I think that's a passion of yours.
Yes.
I think you're very good at it. So everything you just said is exactly what I would love to see added to the board, because that is a missing, that's a gap we have, is someone who can service between organizations and continue that conversation. And I think that's lovely.
Well, the thing about swimming too, as I said, you know, I'm a person who looks at statistics, and if you look at the statistics now, the greatest cause of death in children, 1 to 4, is drowning. And in 5 to 14-year-olds, it's the second cause of death. I believe, and in adults, so many adults don't swim, they're afraid to even think about getting swimming lessons, which takes away from recreation, restoration, the things that I'm passionate about. So I believe that we need to encourage, support safety, swimming lessons across the lifespan. And I think that's something, again, I'd be glad to use my voice for.
Well, and I would love to work with you on all of those things, and specifically on grants.
And my mom, we were all swimmers. I mean, it was like, we were poor, but we went to swim lessons every year.
Well, that's something we'd like to do, is start offering more scholarships. And I think that partnership, whether it's with Western or with other organizations throughout the town, and as Robert mentioned, there's a lot of companies basing out of this area. There's some real strength in numbers if we can just get those companies involved with us, those organizations. Do something like a Learn to Swim week where all lessons are free for a full week.
Well, I believe we have to go there. I mean, I don't want to see, as a PT, I've seen too many children who are what are called near drownings. Those are children that are pulled out of the pools, and they're, it's not good. And so I, as a physical therapist and as a human, I don't want to see that continue. And that was the way my mother was too, because she worked in the hospital and she saw it. And so, the apple doesn't fall far, I guess what one would say.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for your interest. You've been coming.
Thank
You
you.
joined the budget committee after coming to meetings since the end of the year, and you've been very dedicated.
Yeah, January 2nd was my first meeting, and I'm happy to be a part. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you just let Ross know to come in?
I will.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he and I had a good chat.
Well, the YouTube is down halfway through her
I realized YouTube was down, we took it down for intentionally, we can talk about it after the fact.
We got hacked during the broadcast. Sorry.
The Zoom is still up though, so people can dial into the Zoom.
And we can post it to YouTube once it,
Yeah, but
once we
figure
can
out-
review it.
Yeah, because Jill has it, so it'll email to her,
Yeah.
so we can do that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Hey, Ross.
You should
Oh.
start this.
I was just gonna say, I think I'll go from the middle and we'll go in a circle this time because I've been in the middle each time. So, all right. How are you? Good. Well, thank you for applying. We're really glad that you're here. I'm gonna say it again because you were in the room. Most important thing to me is getting the pool fixed. I want the repairs done. It's gonna really extend the life of the pool. But I think you know that we had to put it off because of funding issues. And so finding that funding and making sure that we're focused on having the money we need when the time is right to start this process or revisit, keep it going, is super important to me. So I appreciate your willingness to step up in the community. I think that wanting to be part of something long lasting is very admirable. It's exactly why I'm here. But my focus is really on the funds for repairs. I know you have some engineering experience, and I'm wondering, with your engineering experience and the things you do in the community that I don't know about, how would you, being a board member, help us accomplish our goals for fundraising or getting the funding for the repairs?
I have experience in the Marine Corps doing water purification, so I'm pretty knowledgeable in water systems. I could understand what repairs are needed and the technical aspects of those requests, and then maybe help have conversations with the full staff on what's important for the budget and what's needed to help make those decisions to keep the pool open and keep it fully safe and functional. And then for the funding needs, I'm willing to help with the grant writing and be involved in the recruitment of funds and fundraising at events. I have a young daughter, and being involved with the community, bringing in kids and showing them how the pool is enjoyable is something I'm passionate about with my child as well as other kids in the community. So I think through fundraising, grant writing, and figuring out the technical needs for the pool to be open and functional, I could help with.
All right, thank you so much. Julie, why don't you go next?
I'm interested in how you have supported the pool in the past and presently. Do you come to the pool?
I don't currently come to the Lebanon pool. I've been there a couple times with my daughter. Primarily, we swim at her family's down in Southern Oregon, but she's also quite young, so she can't enjoy the big pool activities, the floats and stuff like that. But I do plan on getting her more involved as she gets older. In the past, I was pretty involved with the pool I grew up with in Myrtle Creek. And it was important to my childhood. I would spend most of my summers with my sisters at the pool. The library is right next door, and going between the library and the pool was our normal day in the summer when school was out. So I know the importance of the pool. And that was an outdoor pool down there. And we had that closed down when I was in middle school, high school, and the community had funding changes. I mean, I was a kid, so I don't really know all the details, but we had a fundraiser as a community, and I saw how hard that was. And there were many years of the pool not being open or being questionable if it'll be open. And I don't want to see that for the community I'm part of here as well. So that's why it's important to me.
Okay. Thank you for your support. You've been helping us over the last year, I think, 6 months to a year, and plan to help more as our recording secretary. We'll get it together and get a little better organized And you've been helping with technical aspects, trying to get the broadcast connected. I think working with Jill a little bit on equipment needed. That's been really helpful. Thank you. One thought I did have, I understand your background and I'm very excited that you could bring that knowledge. You did a huge job keeping water purification going and have a deep background in that. Exciting. It occurred to me while we were sitting here, we might be able to get the robotics club interested. The Albany Y currently has a robotics club doing underwater robotic testing on Sundays. That might be something that would work here in town. It might be very interesting. That might be right up your alley. So that would be fun. So, thank you. I really appreciate it. And if nothing else, we'll very much appreciate you continuing to support, bringing some fresh energy. And your daughter, right? And swim lessons, so she'll fit right in.
I like to help the community however we can, whether I'm on the board or not, but I feel like it takes more than just 5 people to keep the pool open.
It sure does.
Sunday.
And I tell you, this week it really feels like we need more than 5. But we have been, one thing that will be of interest to everyone is we're bringing back a volunteer program. We're going to work with our current policies and broaden that and make sure it's covered by our liability insurance and start encouraging, along with the Western students that Elaine and Dr. Davis are helping us find. We're just going to be looking for community volunteers. So I think that's going to help them.
Well, looking past the repairs, since everybody else touched on that, which area would you be most interested in being involved with the pool or the board post repairs once the big crisis is over? You already mentioned several things you do, and you don't feel interested in. Which area would you prefer to be your focus in that post repair environment?
I'm really interested in seeing how we can get the pool to be. Coming to the meetings, I can tell that you guys have been working hard on it, but I will continue that work of getting the pool self-sufficient with funding. So getting the capacities higher, getting the community support by being present and going swimming. Why, we have the pool, we need to filter the water and fill it up 24/7. But if the pool's only being used at quarter capacity or 50% capacity, then there's wasted money, I guess we have there. So making sure that the pool stays at a higher capacity and the profit keeps coming in to sustain the pool for the community, something I would like to see and continue that work that you guys have been doing. Make sure it doesn't go backwards, but keep going forwards.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think that is it. So would you mind grabbing Robert and Elaine? And pull a chair, because there's 3 of you, there's like 2 chairs. So everyone can have a chair. There we go.
Usable chairs.
I know, right?
Do we come in after your discussion?
No, you guys can come in now.
It's all public anyway.
It is.
That's really just
Absolutely.
a courtesy.
Yep. All right. Does anybody have anything to say or?
I was impressed by the level of candidates and people interested. I think that was great. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? No?
Like what Darla said, it was very nice hearing all the different ideas that were coming forward. We definitely have, I think, more than last time in terms of people willing to step forward and stepping forward. All 3 of you are actively involved, volunteering already, which is way different from last time.
Yeah.
Jill, you have anything? All right, does anybody want to make a motion? Okay, I'll make a motion.
There you go.
I will make a motion. I would like to nominate or make a motion that Elaine would be our new board member. Does anyone want a second?
I will second that. I think that's a gap we have, and I'd be pleased to second.
Okay. Is there any other discussion by the board before I ask for a vote? Okay. So all in favor? Darla?
Aye.
Jeremy?
All right.
Julie?
I,
Kim? Aye.
Nice.
All right, congratulations, Lily. It looks like you are going to be the new member.
Thank
And
you.
we believe that. Now, if you could pull your chair right up here for a second.
And we very much, let me just say, we very much want to thank both Robert and Rob.
Yes.
Very impressive. Thank you.
All right. So. We learned that we were overthinking. Those of you who were here last time, you know that we had an oath. I don't know, bump, an oath bump. And so we've talked, we talked to the people we needed to, and we realized we're overthinking the oath process. So all 5 of us are going to read our oaths together at the same time, do the swearing, if you want to call it that, and then we will all be official. All right, are we ready? Okay, I, Kim Kendall, do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oregon, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of director according to my ability, so help me God. All right. So it looks like I have to sign them, and I will do that. And then Jeremy will sign them, and then we'll give them back. So if someone would like to make a motion to adjourn, that will be the end of this meeting.
I would, can I say something?
Sure.
I have a lot of the same skills as Elaine, as Dr. Davis can tell you. You guys don't know me very well, but I have a lot of community connections. I've been working on those for about 25 years. So I'm looking forward to a long and wonderful relationship with Elaine. I'm getting money from the community in here. This is the town of friendliness built, and to mine resources, time. So I think we'll be really good. Yeah. Just want to put it out there. A lot of people in this room know that about me, but you guys do not know that, so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Julie. I know you have done a lot of fine work. I think it's gonna be a much stronger aspect that we can all start meeting on.
I agree. Thank you so much. And I think that we're interested in community board committees so that we can have 2 board members, because we can't have 3, plus 2 community members who work together, but also work with Jill where needed for the areas that need her direction. So I'm super excited also.
Yeah, I have been a community volunteer coordinator of this community for a quarter of it. So, okay.
All right, well,
We're
thank you
looking
so
forward
much.
to that,
Yes,
because I
very
think-
much.
Then I think at the board meetings, we'll love to hear about that, do a report, and all of us who are trying to do this will work together, both of you. It'd be great.
Yes, I agree.
And build membership while you're out there. I keep saying membership.
All right, thank you.
I have a quick comment. Elaine, you mentioned you're gonna focus a lot on grant writing. I just want to bring up Ross is also very interested in helping with that, especially to learn. So
You and I
think
can
that
actually chat.
we're wonderful.
Oh, good, yeah.
We've
Good
been
point, I
chatting.
forgot you.
Well, we've got all kinds of.
Okay, perfect.
And Robert,
Well,
grant writing. I think, even though you'll still be doing, maybe we can find some overlap with the Friends of the Lebanon Pool. I think that would be great. Put
Yes.
some events on. Yeah, and Western and Jeannie Davis and with Elaine's help are already considering a big Sunday takeover at the pool, having all the students come in, do inflatables, have barbecue, volleyball, everything. So I think it's very exciting, and we just need to do that with everyone. Get lots of people.
Never oppose an education to good incentives.
That's
They want a barbecue and family inflatables, I said.
You'll be out there with the tongs and the hat, right? That might be a really fun thing to do though, like a board barbecue where people come and meet us and we
Yeah.
cook for them and
that would be
just
really
do whatever.
fun.
But anyways, so would someone like to make a motion to
I-
adjourn so
one
we
more
don't
thing
break
to
our
say.
rules?
One more thing to say.
Okay,
And it is off topic, but this is going to be, or is going to be the 25th anniversary of the district. And I would like to do a board event for that. We were signed up, and I don't know if Joe was able to confirm, we were signed up for greeters for the Chamber Forum luncheon for October to focus on the celebration of the pool. So we'll have to check and see if we still are. But Delbert is here, and I don't know if anybody else is from the original board. Delbert Scott, please stand up. He was part of the founding board for reopening. Yeah. So Delbert is a key member that kept this pool in play.
No,
Thank you.
and I am so impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful that we're still here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye. Great.
Unanimous?
Thank you very much,
everybody
everyone. for
so
coming.
much.
Very good. Thank you. Now I'm gonna hold.